Hello, welcome to episode 32 of the That Guy's a Maniac podcast. The two hosts, myself, Kunzi11, aka Farley, and Richie. Say hello, Richie.
Hello, Richie. Oh shit, I did it.
Not even ironically.
No, I didn't.
Following instructions.
Yeah, very much.
We are the minds behind long-running video game website www.thatguys.co.uk, going back many years, and we're going to talk to you about some video game stuff today. Richie, if listeners like what they hear, where can they find our stuffs?
They can find our stuffs. They can slip into our DMs using the @ThatGuy'sAManiac. We can be found on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, many other places @ThatGuy'sAManiac.
That guy's a maniac. And how is it that we can bring this content to people for free?
For free? Well, we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for our endless list of fictional sponsors. So this time, we are sponsored by Celadon Game Corner and Carling? Fucking hell.
This is how I get through the podcast.
It's how you fucking deal with having to deal with Richie. Yeah.
We're recording this at 7 o'clock in the morning. I am on the hard booze.
The hard booze.
Yeah, lager.
The can of vodka. Can of heroin, mate. Can of heroin. What was I saying? Oh, yeah.
It's just the sponsor read, just the most important bit of every podcast. Yeah.
So Celadon City Game Corner for all your random number generated slot machine Porygon needs.
For all your this game isn't gambling in the West needs.
Exactly. Cheers. Yeah, exactly. So, Farley.
Yeah.
Excellent intro, by the way. Well done. Much better than the shambles that was done by that Richie guy last week. Yeah.
He's been fired. He's not coming back.
yeah, quite fucking right.
But hey, listen. Usually we like to bring some sort of, light-hearted, slightly grumbly, old-manny gaming content. But this week we actually have something serious to discuss. Because with the oncoming Brexit, I hear that the UK government is potentially splitting up intercontinental content creative partnerships if they think that they're fake marriages. So, have you ever seen the film Green Card with Andy McDowell and what's his face?
Gerard Depardieu. Yeah.
Gerard Depardieu,
I know the basic concept from the TV series Spaced.
Okay. Yes. You should watch the original. It's very good.
I think I have seen it, but it was probably like 20 years ago in Portsmouth.
Golden Globe for Best Actor.
Really? Okay.
Film won Golden Globe Best Motion Picture.
All right.
And it got an Oscar nom.
Okay.
For screenplay. Anyway, so I'm worried that the government internet will try to split up our fake marriage. So, much like Andy and Gerard, we need to improve our knowledge of each other so that if the internet police come, they will believe that we are a real content creating couple and not a content creating marriage of convenience.
But surely all of that Farley on Richie porn that exists on our Patreon would prove otherwise.
Do we have a Patreon?
Oh, maybe not. Maybe I just kept it for myself.
Are you funding your own dirty little drawings?
I just spend my whole day funding myself,
Pictures of me wearing the double crown and nothing else.
You lost the double crown. Please keep up with the canon. You lost it. You lost it. You lost it.
Anyway, should the police coming, I'm fairly sure that they're going to test us on how well we know each other's favourite Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. That is the number one thing they would quiz us on.
That sounds like a pretty feasible thing that the internet police will ask us. So, I suggest we go through the however many types of Pokemon and we tell each other our favourite one of each type.
Okay.
That way, should we get busted, there's a chance, slim chance, as long as you can remember this, that we'll be allowed to stay in our marriage of convenience.
Sure. Sounds good.
Sound good.
Recording it for our prosperity as well.
Yeah, just in case. Well, no, so we can listen to it and remind ourselves of the choices.
Listen to it and look at the Patreon page.
Look at it. Listen to this. Close your eyes. Look at the Patreon page with your eyes closed. It's like I'm almost there.
Oh dear. Cool. Okay. Let's kick this off. Let's get this show on the road. How are we going to start this?
So, should we just launch into it?
I think we should just launch into it. Yeah.
Type.
First type.
Normal type.
Normal type. Okay. So you're asking me normal type? I'm gonna say my favorite normal type is just straight up, nice and easy. One straight in. One of my favorites. My favorite is Lopunny. Got a Mega in the last generation, and it's just basically a bunny. And just so you know, Farley, the furry bits around its chest is its arms, not its breasts.
Arms.
Yeah, it's just arms. Yeah.
Not boobies.
Not boobies, no.
Not an armless rabbit with boobies.
Yeah.
And then when she mega evolves, she gets some what do you call them? Laddered tights.
Yeah, she gets rips in her tights. I mean, clearly that's exactly what needs to happen. But she also gains the fighting type as well.
Oh really? I did not know that.
Yeah, normal and fighting. And she's scrappy as well, so she can hit ghost types. Full spread type. Able to hit everything. Spread type. Yeah, I heard it as well. Just fucking bloody hell.
Lopunny.
Yeah. And what about you, Farley? What's your favourite normal type?
I'm gonna go old school. I hope not too many of mine are old school actually. Fair few.
Gen 1er man.
And it's, yeah, Gen 1er man, and it's gonna be Jigglypuff. For a number of reasons. One is I love the fact that Jigglypuff is in Smash Brothers, and you know has this underestimated tech. I think that we've only really kind of seen being exploited in recent years. I think if you were to look at the first 151 Pokemon and say which ones are we going to throw in this game, and not just because we've already got the Kirby model and they're kind of similar, you'd be hard pressed to pick Jigglypuff. But now that all the characters have been carried over, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
That Jigglypuff is still in those games. I also loved Jigglypuff in the anime, and the original microphone singing face drawing Jigglypuff was brought back in recent seasons as well. It's really nice. So yeah, just a solid entry. And you know, when thinking about your favourite Pokemon of different types, it helps to pick ones where actually there's a chance that they'll appear on stuff like merchandise and things like that, which Jigglypuff does.
Yeah, you have a fuck ton of it, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Hats, scarves, little models, gacha,
Controller.
Amigos. Yeah. It's a Jigglypuff.
Amiibo.
Yeah, I don't know why I said it.
Yeah, bloody hell. So before we go any further, there's also some rules I want to clarify.
Okay.
I'm assuming we're allowing dual types in here as well. You can't just have a pure normal type, despite our normal ones that we chose being pure normals.
Jigglypuff's not pure normal.
Oh, of course. Oh, well, he originally was, and then he became normal fairy. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
We get these details right. Any other things you want to clarify?
And I was going to suggest honourable mentions. Any other normal types that you particularly like that didn't quite pip it to the top? Okay.
No. Aside from the other two in the same line,
Igglybuff and Wigglytuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I'm not a huge fan of the other pink fatties.
There's a lot of pink fatties in there.
There's a lot of pink fatties, and then there's the weird, like, is it Diggersby, who's normal and ground?
Yeah, or Drampa, which is like normal and dragon.
Oh man, can you imagine if Drampa was your favourite Pokemon?
I don't know, it's just they'd be sort of like, never mind trying to have a sham marriage anymore. Maybe just be fucking split up.
They just deport you.
Yeah.
Even if you're a legal citizen of that country, it's like,
Yeah.
right, we'll deport you sickos like you to, I don't know.
Fucking sickos. Drampa lovers.
Drampa's stands.
Yeah. But I do have an honourable mention.
Okay.
Actually, one that I'm a big fan of, and especially for the current generation as well, and that is Miltank.
Of course.
Yeah.
And why is that?
Because it looks like a gimp cow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's about it, really. And also, I really like the Whitney moveset for the rollout, and because it was such a bitch way back in the day when you did Pokemon Gold. She was like the toughest gym leader there was, and I don't know, I like that honourable mention, and it's always fun to go up against like a themed Pokemon in that fashion. So yeah.
And of course they've got the comedy others.
Yes.
Has caused some censorship issues here in the West. I think there's a playing card, a Pokemon card, and an anime episode where either Pokemon or people were drinking directly from the others.
Oh yeah, there's that. It's a card where like Meowth is drinking from the others or something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so wrong.
which got censored. But yeah,
Imagine.
Now that Miltank is in Pokemon Sword and Shield, it's still titter when one Dynamax is in a raid. You've just got these massive udders just wailing around.
Yeah. Titter being the perfect word to use there. Not a chortle, not a giggle, straight up titter.
A titter. A carry on titter. Next type in... can we talk about the type list, right? So there are... how many? I can never remember.
18.
18 types. Pokemon types. And there's an official way in which they're listed.
It'll be like alphabetical from the Japanese or something like that.
Japanese or something. Okay.
Yeah.
Because the new ones they added on, one of the new types they added is at the end. Two of the new types they added at the end. One of the new types they added is just in the middle. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's not interesting. Next type is fighting type.
Okay, fighting.
First this time.
Okay, yep.
Just to mix it up. And it's going to be a newbie, so I'm flipping from Gen 1 to latest Gen. And it is Grapploct, Jiu-Jitsu, Wrestling, Octopus, which is pure fighting.
Pure fighting. So, just out of curiosity, and for the listeners, potential spoiler alert as well, are all of the Pokemon you're going to choose be kind of mollusks in some kind? To be on your feet. Okay, cool. No.
I mean,
Okay.
a lot of them, but not all of them.
Yeah, okay, cool. Fair enough. And what is it that particularly draws you to Graplocked? Is it just the molluscan nature of them?
Yeah. So I'm a huge fan of mollusks and cephalopods in particular, and so it was nice, unexpected, to get yet another octopus in the form of Graplocked into Pokemon Sword and Shield. Unfortunately, it's not a great Pokemon. So it has a lot of very slow. So a lot of the moves depend on it being hit first or being damaged first, like counter and reversal and payback. But it's just not bulky enough to actually take a hit.
Yeah, it's also the thing is about why is it not a water type?
Yeah, because it can learn water moves as well, and in the wild area in the Sword and Shield base game, they sit in the water and chase you around in the water.
And there's that meme of in the Isle of Armor when they released Urishifu, and he's a fighting / water type. Yeah, Graplock sits there solely in the fucking fighting type. I think it's a very good observation. I like that one. Yeah.
How about your favorite fighting type?
I find it very hard to like any fighting types. Although I do fondly go back to Heracross, who is bug and fighting type, and it's mainly because one, I liked him in the anime. That was sort of like when you were first getting into what's it called? Thank you. And also, like when I was playing Gold and Silver, it was just one of my favourites that I used. I don't think it survived or exists in any form except on my Gold and Silver cartridge somewhere. But it's it's a nice one. I very rarely even make any fighting types. I do have a Machamp, which I leveled up and did the whole thing with, but other than that, fighting types don't really sit with me particularly well. That being said, of course, Mega Lopunny, but that was mainly a bonus. It was not for her being a fighting type.
I think they got some more viability, I guess, when Dark types turned up.
Yeah.
As the third corner of the alternative type triangle. But yeah, I'm with you, and I think were it not for Graplocked, who would I say? Toxicroak.
Yeah, to be honest, I would gravitate over to Toxicroak. What about any of the legendaries? Like you've got the unicorn guy. He's a fighting type, and any of them tickle your fancy?
The Swords of Justice.
Yeah.
No.
No. No.
No. No, I don't really like the Swords of Justice very much.
But I think it would have. You had like Terrakion. Is that just because you need to do every rock type or something like that?
Yeah, no, Terrakion's okay. I think, but the three of them. So if you don't know Pokemon, this podcast is going to be a difficult listen.
Really?
In is it Black and White? I can't remember which generation they're introduced. But there are 3 Pokemon based on the 3 Musketeers.
4. I mean, Keldeo's supposed to be what's his name? D'Artagnan.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Is the book called The 4 Musketeers though, Richie?
The cartoon, maybe? I don't know. No, that was Dogtanian. Never mind. Go on.
And there's also a D'Artagnan character. Introduced. He's extremely annoying, and in the film about the Swords of Justice in Kyurem, he's extremely annoying. And I think yeah, if it weren't for Keldeo, it kind of put me off the entire concept. There we go. So no.
Yeah.
Any
Okay.
honourable mentions aside from those?
I use Pangoro as my false swiper.
Yeah.
That's all.
It's a good Pokemon.
But no, he's a utility mon. There is very little I quite like about any of them. Fuck them. Fuck fighting fights. Fight.
Fuck fine types.
Yep.
Marching on.
Okay.
Flying types.
Bird types. Okay. I'll go this time, and I immediately kind of gravitate to my main true love of the series, the cheaty dragon types, who are always dragon / flying, or in most cases dragon / flying. So you get Dragonite and Salamence, but just to go off piste, I'm going to go for Oricorio, who was a big fan of Oricorio in the last generation, and hope to see it return very soon. The main reason I liked it is it's got this silly ability where it copies dancing moves, and so I had a weird double setup, and it was basically having Ribombee and Oricorio come out first, who are like the two least threatening looking Pokemon of that generation. I know we could probably argue that there are more less threatening ones. Stop! I can hear your brain ticking.
No. Yeah, I think with the caveat, of viability, because you're unlikely to be bringing out a Cleffer and a Togepi. So
yeah. But yeah, it was a cool combo that I did where Ribombee would do Quiver Dance, and the what's it called? The Oricorio would do a copy of it, and it just boosted them both incredibly, and they both had Baton Pass as well, so I'd fire it over to the people that I had in the backbench as well, and it was like, an almost guaranteed thing to do, but also Oricorio had some really fun things it could do with I think it was Hurricane, because it's just special attack and it was just stupidly powerful after a Quiver Dance. But yeah, I hope to bring back my doubles team at some point. Eventually.
Yeah, Oricorio is not in it, is it?
No. It's part of this potential jungle one that you were mentioning last week.
Oh yeah. Bonus pop quiz.
Oh, okay.
Can you name the 4 styles that Oricorio, the dance styles which Oricorio can change into?
Oh, the actual styles that it does. No, I could not. It's right. So it's got the flamenco one, which I think is fire, and then it's got the ghost one, which is supposed to be like traditional geisha dancing. I don't know. Yeah. And then there's cheerleading pom poms one. Yeah, and I can't remember what the other one is.
The other one is culturally inappropriate. Who you're dancing on, I think.
Oh right, yeah, cool.
With the grass skirt. Yeah. So their formal names are, I don't know how to pronounce this, Baile style, which is the flamenco.
Ballet style? Ballet?
Baile. You got pom pom style, which is cheerleader. Pa-u style, which is the grass skirt one, and then sensu style, which is the fan dance. Nice.
Cool. Okay, and what about you? What's your favourite flying type?
This was tricky. I was looking down the flying type list and nothing really stood out as a pure flying type. So I'm going to go with an old faithful, which is Aerodactyl. So I do like all the rock types.
Especially the fossil types.
Especially the fossil ones, yeah. And so I think I had an Aerodactyl because it was also a great HM Slave had a Aerodactyl through most of the games until that was dropped, and it's great to see it back in Crown Tundra.
It's also manky fast as well, isn't it? It's like ridiculously high speed stat. Yeah.
Yeah. And when it got the Mega Evolution with the kind of attack boosting ability, it was still a bit of a glass cannon, especially if you've got type advantage.
It was Intimidate it had as its ability, wasn't it?
It definitely has Pressure and Rock Head.
Okay.
Yeah, and probably one other. Yeah.
Never mind then.
Unnerve? I think Unnerve maybe.
Oh, can't eat berries.
Pure and simple and sweet, short and sweet, Aerodactyl.
Okay, cool. So we're moving on to a fun one. Poison type next.
Poison. I think we've been quite vocal at how if you were to combine our type rankings, Poison would probably come out top.
Yeah.
But it's neither of our favourites. Just because there's no viability in this group.
Well, there is more viability, especially with some of the poison types that they brought in. But yeah, there's quite a few I would love to mention under the poison umbrella. But I'm going to hand it over to you and tell me what's your favourite poison type.
There was a lot of soul searching. I imagine some of the ones you'll be mentioning as honourable mentions are exactly the same ones that I will mention.
Hang on, we never did any honourable mentions for the birds. I don't feel like I have any. Yeah, none.
No.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Okay.
It's Crobat.
Crobat, really?
Yeah.
The flying type. That we have no honourable mentions for.
I mean, I have two more flying types on the rest of my list, but I don't want to mention three actually. I don't want to mention them 3 times.
Okay.
It's Crobat.
Okay.
I liked Golbat for a while when we were all playing the TCG together back in the was it Fossil or Jungle? I think it's Jungle days.
Yeah.
There was a horrible leech lifing Golbat, and one of my first, my first shiny was a Zubat, which I've still got kicking around as a Crobat.
And what's his name?
I don't know, because I used to call them General Golbat. Is what I called them, but then they've all got all kinds of different ranks. I think it might be a Sergeant. I think my shiny one might be Sergeant Crobat. I
also remember, who was Zubat Man? I feel like that was a Pikachu or something like that, wasn't it?
Zubat Man, yeah.
Oh dear.
So I'm gonna go with Crobat. I don't know how it holds up actually, because it's just been brought back, just rotated back into the meta. But yeah, there's some viability there. Stally, toxic, flinchy, air slash, black sludge type combo.
Yeah.
Weaknesses there.
And my favourite, entirely favourite, with a caveat of quite a few other
100% objective, no take backs.
No takes backs. His favourites
asterisk
is gonna be Muck, and that's straight up normal Muck. No, not at all. Well, sorry, as in non-Alolan Muck.
We can say Cantonian Muck, that's fine.
Cantonian, can we now? Right, but yeah, Muck. I went on a
training course at work, and that's what they said we can say.
Okay, and I think they are they non-binary or?
No, they're gendered, aren't they?
I don't know. I actually couldn't tell you. I feel like no, I don't think they are. Great. Here, listeners, everybody gets to listen to us.
Yeah.
Fucking Google this.
Bam. No, 50% male, 50% female.
Alright, okay, cool. Fair enough. But yeah, I really, really, really like Muck. The viability of Muck comes from the horrible move Minimize, which reduces the chance to be hit very, very much. Good English there. Yeah, you can sort of play around with lots of movesets behind there and just resting and gaining all of your health back with items as well. And you just sit there and regenerate and not get hit. And even when you get hit, he's really, really bulky. So he's just outlasting you while you're getting poisoned and all sorts of things. Really, really fun, annoying Pokemon to use. So shout out to Muck as my favourite one there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cheaty move Minimize.
Yeah.
Widely banned.
Widely banned. By who? By who?
By the community.
Yeah, well.
Honourable poison type mentions. Let's just go one for one. Garbodor, definitely.
I mean, I thought Garbodor was going to be your top because of the tetanus needle.
Discussed it the other day it was, but I've had a change of heart. But yeah, the fucking syringe Gunkarm. I told you there's a episode in the anime where one of them gets its needle arm blocked. And its arm swells up, and then I think it's like Nurse Joy eventually unblocks it, and it's just like this ridiculously massive pile of shit just comes out of his arm.
Ugh. Yeah. Lovely.
Shout outs to Garbodor.
And I will shout out to Toxapex. Again, another really annoying water/poison type. And again, it's all about regenerating. Actually has the hidden move Regenerator, so every time it comes back in, it gains a third of its health back. And it's just really, really annoying. The more you hit it, the more damage you're getting. Love it. Fantastic. Really annoying. You got any other honourable mentions?
Wheezing, both Wheezings, I think.
Yeah.
Love them to bits. Just not very good.
For me, also Salazzle as well.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. Again, just it's just a very, very good annoying Pokemon. Good for teaming up with a Alolan Muck, which we will see no further on. But yeah, to do the whole kind of ability to poison things that can't normally be poisoned, which is a great ability to have. So yeah, I like that.
And she's sexy.
It always helps.
From poison to the weakness ground.
Okay. Swampert. And it's a tough one, ground, because like you basically want something that's going to hit hard with Earthquake, and that's about it really. And I again do my honourable mention a little bit early here. I would have chosen Garchomp as the dragon and Earth type. Ground type, Earth type, fucking hell. Are we playing Captain Planet? Which one's that type? Ground type. But yeah, I like Garchomp. Very, very cheaty. I do not have a shiny Garchomp. That is like that. As soon as I can be bothered to play the new one, I will be shiny hunting shiny Garchomp, because an amazing pink Garchomp just firing out earthquakes. I'll be a happy bunny with that. But going back to Swampert, one of the most fun builds to play with that I had for a long time was his ability to just like hit people with muddy water, get down there, ability to hit things straight, or lower their accuracy. I should have said.
What did you say?
Hit things straight.
Hit things straight.
Lower their accuracy is what I meant to say. And yeah, really, really bulky as well. And it was also my curse tank. Curse being that niche move which reduces your speed but increases your defense and attack. But yeah, really, really, really liked him. I still have him existing, and I have a shiny one of him. Again, a fantastic shiny pink. Yeah. So yeah, it's really, really good Pokemon, and out of the ground types, just stands clear and above my usual dragon picks as well.
Yeah.
What about yourself? Earth
same
types.
typing, actually. Earth types. It's got to be Gastrodon, and I'll be honest, I was sleeping on Gastrodon for a long, long time. But it's just a fantastic Pokemon, and there's a reason why even today you still kind of see it.
Yeah, it was in the. It did it not? Was not like one of the winning teams for the championships as well, or something like that.
Yeah, it was in a lot of. I think before Isle of Armor and the Crown Tundra all sets started cycling in, it placed quite highly, and then before the madness at the end of Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, it was always on medium to high percentage of inclusion on teams. There's a lot to love. So not only does it negate the same as Marshtomp, it negates electric moves, but then it also has the ability Storm Drain or Water Absorb. I can't remember.
Not either.
Drain, I think.
Quite. Yeah.
Yeah. So it can't be hit by water. Has insane defensive typing and defensive stats. So yeah, really, really good. But I guess like with Marshtomp, because it resists most things, unless there's a whiff of grass, and then you're fucked. So as long as you've not got special attacking grass type opposite you, really, really hard to get rid of, especially with sitting there with recovery. If I had to choose between pink and blue, and I did go and breed shinies of both.
So you get the reverse as well.
Yeah, but annoyingly they're not. Why didn't they, make the shiny blue one kind of, pink colour and the shiny pink one blue colour?
What's that? I thought they did. That's why I was saying the reverse.
The shinies are really, really subtle to the point where when you're breeding and you've just looked at so many that you really fear that you've lost the sense of what am I looking for?
Yeah.
Those two, almost every single shell ask, I was like, and is that the shiny? Is that the shiny? Really, really subtle.
I had that with what's it called? Scyther. I remember just breeding Scyther for so long, and the only thing that really changes is his green is slightly less green and he's got pink limbs, but you don't. Yeah. But again, you kind of think to yourself, what colour were his limbs anyway before?
Yeah.
You
couldn't name it. So I'm gonna say Gastrodon.
Cool. Shout outs. What have you got?
Shout outs. I do quite like Marshtomp. Actually.
Did I say Swampert?
Oh, you did
Marshtomp.
Say Swampert. Is it Swampert?
No, Marshtomp is the middle generation. Swampert's the top. Yeah.
Swampert.
Yeah.
I think it's because I just picked one up. A shiny one in Dynamax Adventures.
Yeah.
I know. I was very happy with that. Yeah, probably my favourite starter, actually.
Yeah, of all the starters, it's quite cool. And don't get me wrong, I hate the whole fucking Mudkip meme shenanigans and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely ends up being one of my favourite starters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout outs. I got a lot of time for Mamoswine.
A lot of time for Mamoswine.
Got a lot of time for Mamoswine. Anybody else jumping out? Oh, Palisand. I do like Palisand.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Palisand's quite cool. Sandcastle Pokemon. I think my shout. No, Flygon. Flygon's not good. Like, I have a Flygon for Flygon's sake. He's just basically a shit Garchomp. You know? That is.
Poor man's Garchomp.
Yeah, he really, really is. And when I worked out that those red things are like goggles, I'm like, oh, it became a little bit shit because I thought they were eyes rather than goggles. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, now I see it. That's shit. Looks. But anyway, other shout outs that I would give a shout out to Stunfisk. Just that really one of the best calls in the entire Pokemon franchise. Brilliant. That's a solid interpretation, actually. There's a lot of ghosty ground Pokemon types. I don't know why. Palisand, yeah. We've got Golurk, again, another one that I enjoyed training up and uses my what's it called? You know, the focus punch, substitute punch thing. Yeah. Sub punch. And then you've got Palisand, but you also have the fake Cofagrigus, Runerigus. I give a shout out to it. It doesn't compare to Cofagrigus, so just is now weak to grass and water. Like, fuck you. What's the point in being a big defendy Pokemon?
I know. Well, that's why I didn't pick. Because there's a lot of rock and ground Pokemon.
Yeah.
All of the Gen 1 popular fossils of rock and ground, and Larvitar and Pultara. But you buddy up those types, and yeah, you're just weak to so many things. 4 times to water, 4 times to grass. Yeah.
But one that I'm just having a quick look as well, of course. One that I just spotted that I was surprised that you never mentioned, Steelix and Onyx. I thought you were big fans of them. No, not at all.
No.
I just remember you being very excited to get shinies of them.
I got shiny Onyx as part of my quest to get all the shiny rock types.
Okay.
All the rock types are shinies. It's just not a very good Pokemon. It's just not a very good Pokemon at all. And then Steelix loses the rock typing, so I'm less interested in it. A last shout out, I think, for Gliscor.
Gliscor? Oh, the flying and ground type bat thing. Yeah, cool.
There's horrible builds of that. I had one which is Toxic Heal, Substitute.
Yeah, does. Yeah. Toxic Heal is just it's such a bad one. So whenever you're poisoned, so you deliberately poison yourself, you heal yourself. Yeah. Cool.
Heal yourself up. You hold the healing ice. Yeah, it's just impossible to shift. Next up, we've got the best type there ever is, and there ever was. It's rock types. It's my favourite type. A lot of my loves sit here. A lot of the best gym leaders are rock type gym leaders. So I'm very excited, and I think it's my turn to go first.
I think so.
It's very, very difficult. There's a lot to love in this group. However, I'm going to have to go with my boy or my girl. Omastar.
Oh, what a surprise.
Yeah, what a surprise. So if you're not familiar, occasionally, well, that guy's a Maniac. Proudly hosts the webcomic Omastar Comics, and occasionally we do a write-up about an Omastar called Dactylosa, which I've had since Fire Red and Leaf Green, and just recently brought over to Sword and Shield. So yeah, another cephalopod, another rock type. Omastar's my fave.
Okay. I struggle with rock types. There's very few that I enjoy. I wanted to enjoy a lot of the fossil types. I know that you persist with Omastar. I really like the idea of Cradley. You know, I really like crinoids and things like that. Although it's just once you see that the sort of flowers around his head, the petals just look like dicks that are sort of flopping about. You can't get past that. But also, Cradley's not that great at a Pokemon. It does have Storm Drain, which is a good sort of viability, but I couldn't find a place for it on my team at all. So, I go back to one of my favourites, that again from Pokemon Gold and Silver, a little buddy that I had called Corsola. Again, just a really nice, fun Pokemon to have. Do your surf, have your rock moves, do your earthquakes, and it also got some really. Well, it initially always had hustle, which is like you sacrifice some accuracy to have some better attack. And then it got a couple other things, but the main thing that it got that was good was Regenerator, which I mentioned before for Toxapex as well. And I think it was also sort of widely used in Diamond and Pearl as well, because it was a rock spiker, as in it would do Stealth Rock, and yeah, I think it had spikes as well.
Spikes,
yeah. So it was a very common Pokemon to see around there, and just chuck up a Protect on it as well. And then you've just got yourself a solid Pokemon that you just swap in and out to heal up and mess up the other team with Stealth Rock and spikes. I think I find it hard to like a lot of them. I do kind of like Kabutops, but only the shiny version, because he's green and he looks like a Scyther, and it's that weird juxtaposition, or what is it? It's not the word juxtaposition, that's completely the wrong word. What am I looking for here, Farley? Similarity.
I don't know, it's just amused by things that look like other things but aren't.
Yes, exactly. Exactly that. Okay, cool. Enough talking about all the other Pokemon I don't like. Corsola is my main one, and I really don't have any other shout outs that I could really bring to the table. What about yourself? What shout outs do you have that didn't make it?
There's lots of shout outs. Sudowoodo, absolutely love. So the second generation was the one with all the weird rock types. So Corsola, Sudowoodo, Makage. But it still makes me chuckle. In which was the game where you get the horde battles?
Oh God.
X and Y.
Yeah.
X and Y. So you could trigger these horde battles, which was a good way for hunting shiny. There's a higher chance of getting shiny Pokemon. So it'd mean you'd face 5 Pokemon of the same Pokemon, but occasionally you'd get 4 of one and 1 of another. And so sometimes it'd be the rivals, sometimes it would be blah blah blah. But if you were horde hunting, I think it was Trevenant. Occasionally there'd be an odd Sudowoodo in there, and the joke is that they're rock types, so they pretend to be trees.
Sudowoodo, yeah.
Sudowoodo.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of kind of record breakers in the rock types, I think. So Rampardos with the crazy attack, Gigalith with the crazy attack. I like all the Lichen rocks. surprising myself. Tyranitar's cool. I love Lunatone and Solrock. I like that Armeldo's based off of
those proto life forms.
Yeah, fossils. Bastidon's crazy defenses. Shuckle's crazy defenses. Archeops is cool. I love Barbaracle's crazy hands. Tyrantrum and Aurorus. Carbink. Diancie. Minior. Never got a shiny Minior, but I love the mechanic there.
Shuckle, did you shout out to Shuckle?
Yeah, I did shout out.
Good.
Even Macargo got time for Relicamp, I absolutely love. Crustle as well. And then the new ones, Dreadnought. Although, yeah, it's weird. So Omastar is rock and water, as is Kabutops, as is Binacle and Barbaracle. But there are more which are water and rock type. It makes absolutely no difference, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's too many of them. Stop it now.
Yeah, no more.
We've got like Caracosta and Dreadnought, which are both water and rock blue turtles. Yeah, too many to shout out.
Yeah.
Rock types for win.
Oh. So weird remembering of the Omastar comics, or one of that guy's comics, where we had the recreation of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles using all of the turtles that you have in Pokemon. And what was it? Shredder was the Steel and Rock guy.
Shredder was Aggron.
Yeah. And you have Reebok, Bebop, and Rocksteady. Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. Anyway, let's not dwell on that.
No. Since then we've got like 14 extra tortoise inspired Pokemon.
Yeah, that are all water and rock. Okay, cool. So yeah, I think Bug. Okay, cool. Is it me to start this time?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. I like quite a few bug types.
I got a soft spot for bugs as well.
Yeah. It was that story about how basically this is how Pokemon got started. It was like one of the Game Freak creators used to collect beetles, and they would fight the beetles. Now that's a hideous, horrible animal cruelty story, but it's also kind of like that's where the start of it all comes from. I kind of already mentioned one of my favourites, which is Ribombee, but really just one that I like because of the double team that I have. So I'm going to go for one of my older favourites, and still continues to be one of my favourites, a very, very viable Pokemon, Scizor, Bug and Steel. Now, the whole wonder of Scizor is he has a little move called Bullet Punch, which is an unimpressive like 40 attack power, but he has Technician, which bumps that up to like 66 attack power, and it always goes first. Plus he has ridiculous attack power already, base stats, so it becomes a very, very, very viable evil Pokemon to come up against. So I really like Scizor, and again, the main reason I like him is because his shiny is green and he looks like Scyther. So I have this. We need to find a fucking word for what this is.
We do. We need to bring in psychologists to
bore themselves silly. Man. But yeah, so yeah, that's the reason I like Scizor. One of the many reasons. What about yourself? I'll go into honourable mentions at the end.
My favourite bug type, and there are lots to like in this group, I think, but it's not very good. So I think part of the early design for them was that you get them early on in the game. They're very quick to evolve. So it's something exciting happening in the early game, and then very quickly in the old DSi, 3DS games, they kind of lose that viability much later on. So my favourite, it has been since Silver, one of the first ones that I caught, and I absolutely love the design of, is Ledian. But unfortunately, it is right down there in terms of just some of the worst evolved final stage Pokemon forms. It's got nothing going on.
It's got a really good special defense.
Yeah, and speed's kind of okay, and it's kind of if you ignore TMs, its kind of natural move learn set is to boost its attack, boost its speed, and then baton pass out. The problem is it's so awful. I can't guarantee to get a single boost off.
Why do you like this Pokemon?
Because it's a really cool design. It's got the 6 arms.
How many of them do you have that are called Zool?
I actually I SOS hunted 2 of these. So I have a shiny Ladybug and Ledian. And I think my shiny Ledian's called Get Ledi. Yeah, Ledian.
Okay. Right. Honourable mentions then. For bug type. You go first.
Recently, I've got into Axelgore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a very cool Pokemon. Get to the speed. Shock already mentioned. There's another one that might be coming up later. Yeah, 2 that are coming up later actually. Golisopod, I think, is a very cool Pokemon.
I wanted to like Golisopod an awful lot, but that speed stat just makes me hate him so much. And also that ability was
emergency exit.
Yeah, just you don't need that extra fucking you off annoyance in the middle of a Pokemon battle. So yeah, I'm a little. I wanted to like Golisopod. I hate isopods. They're the most disgusting creatures in the world, especially the ones that like replace those fish's tongues. That's nightmare fuel. But yeah, it's I wanted to. That's not on my honourable mentions, believe it or not. What else you got?
That's it for my honourable mentions.
Right, okay, cool. I would say obviously Ribombee. I also have a kind of soft spot for the 2 big bastard moths, Volcarona and Frostmoth. And yeah, I don't know why. Just because they're like the antithesis of what you were describing about the bug types. They're the ones that like they don't evolve until like level 65 or something stupid. And I don't know, I like that they are sort of themed. I really want to do a double battle with like bringing those 2 out together. I don't
think they work very well together.
I'm sure they don't. You just like one rock and move and they're dead. It's not like everybody has a rockfall move that hits 2 at the same time.
But also, Frostmoth likes being in hail, and Volcarona has those fire moves that hit everybody, which obviously Frostmoth is 4 times weak to.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So
but yeah, I don't think Frostmoth has any moves that help it with the heal.
No, it benefits from being an ice.
Oh yeah, benefits, yeah, I suppose. But no. Like anyway, the idea of having the bug, fire and ice. A song of fire and ice. Fucking right. Yeah. So yeah, I dig those two an awful lot, and of course, like, you end up just falling in love with certain ones as you go through the games, especially for the first time. So like when you did the very first one you went through, and you got yourself a Butterfree, and you got yourself one like you got a Scolipede when you did the last what was it, Black and White. You end up liking these Pokemon because of what they are. And yeah, I mean, I dig Durant as well, like the little steel one. I got some time for that one.
Actually, Durant's got some crazy again viability and competitive at the moment.
Yep.
Because when it Dynamaxes, Hustle doesn't become a problem anymore, but it still gets the attack boost.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. And yeah, like things like in the second generation you had, I forget the name, the Dragonfly one. Yanma. Yeah. And again, it's just a cool one, and then it got an evolution which made it less cool, made it look like Flygon with the goggles. But no, I got a lot of time. Shedinja as well. And you had an awful Ninjask as well. Yeah, hated that one.
Across the board better Lydian.
Yes. Well, most other bug types are.
I mean, including Orbeetle, right, which looks like Lydian.
Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, I like bug Pokemon, and I probably have way more at level 60, because we're playing World of Warcraft, than I think. But yeah, let's move on, unless you've got anything more to say about bugs.
Nope.
Good.
I do not.
Alright. Ghost. I went first, you go first.
Ghost type Pokemon. Just mentioned it. So my favourite is Shedinja by far.
Right, okay.
So yeah, absolutely loved it. Have done ever since it first came out. From the weird way that you evolve it, kind of having a spare spot when you evolve an Incada, and then the empty shell of an Incada evolving becomes Shedinja. If you look into that creepy hole in the back, you die. It's got the annoying ability Wonder Guard. Occasionally you see it popping up at official tournaments, because even if say you're playing doubles, so it's 4-on-4, you normally can see each other's teams before you play. So if there's a Shedinja there, you can shit. Have something to get through Wonder Guard. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of ghost types otherwise. One or two exceptions, which I think later on my list, but yeah, Shedinja's been a firm favourite for a long time, and I finally caught a shiny one recently.
Oh, nice.
Which, yeah, absolutely no difference. Again, it's impossible to tell.
Brilliant.
but I know.
Yeah.
It's also one of those nice Pokemon where you don't have to worry about stats. So I'm very lazy as a trainer. It's like, great, I don't have to worry about HP. Because it is 1.
Okay.
How about you?
Right, now, as you know, Farley, I have a very long list of ghost Pokemon, and in fact, very similarly to you, I went off on a tirade of collecting ghost Pokemon and leveling most of them up to 100 as viably as possible. This was this was the DS game, so this would have been, what was the last two? X and Y. No, Sun and Moon.
Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Yeah, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, yeah. So I have pretty much all of them that there's a few exceptions. Very few exceptions. But yeah, I do love most of the ghost Pokemon. But to choose the one that is my absolute favourite,
Yeah.
we mentioned it already.
Guns to your head.
Guns to my head is definitely
Multiple guns to your head.
It's like that the John Wick poster. Yeah. It's Cofagrigus.
Of course.
Yeah. Again, just the defenses on Cofagrigus are through the roof. Absolutely insane. Such an annoying Pokemon for me to use. Not for me to use, for anybody to come up against. It's got rest. It does toxic things. It just basically heals itself whilst you can't do any damage to it. And I don't know. I really, really, really like that concept an awful lot. And it's also got the very, very unique move or ability, Mummy. Basically anything that touches it gains the ability Mummy. And there was a really cool tech a little while ago, which I think is the generation before Sun and Moon, where you would have Slackoth, who has the horrible move or horrible ability, which means you can only attack every second turn, and you would just basically use Cofagrigus to get a hit in, and then switch out so that Slackoth could then just hit every single time with his ridiculous attack stat. And that was a lot of fun when that worked. But also Mummy as an ability just basically negates anything that hits it, and it's so fun to just sort of shut another Pokemon down. It's like, your ability is the entire thing that makes you a core and centric Pokemon. Oh well, fine. Have this new one to ruin it. And of course that can backfire because it can hit your own team and stuff like that, but yeah.
And then everyone's just got Mummy, and then Cofagrigus dies, and yet Mummy's still being passed between all the
yeah, that happens, yeah. So you have to choose your team.
What's the difference between Mummy and Wandering Spirit, which is what Rodriguez gets?
I don't know what Wandering Spirit is. Is it? Does it not need to make attacks or something like that? Physical hit.
When a Pokemon with this ability is hit by a contact move, it will switch abilities between it and the target. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you're the one hitting it.
But also you gain their ability.
So basically, Runagrigus hits something, and then it gains the ability of whatever that opposing Pokemon was.
And they lose their ability. With some exceptions. Do you want to know what the exceptions are?
No, seriously, I already spoke too much about Cofagrigus.
Disguise, Flower Gift, Gulp Missile, Ice Face, Illusion, Imposter Receiver, RKS System, Schooling, Stance Change, Wonder Guard, and Zen Mode.
Great.
Honourable mentions for ghost types.
You go, because I've got too many.
I've got a soft spot for Sableye. I don't really know why. Always liked Sableye.
I like Sableye. I love his Mega as well. Just hiding behind that giant crystal.
Hiding behind a giant diamond. Spirit Tomb as well. Again, I don't really know why.
You were like super into Spiritomb. I think it was because he had that neutral type coverage for,
Yeah, until Fairy came along. Those two with the no weakness
combo.
Team.
Yeah.
I think just those two actually. Looking down the list.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and another one, but I'm gonna pick it later, so I'm gonna talk about that.
Yeah. We all know. We all know. Right.
How about you?
Okay, cool. Honourable mentions to bring out. I like. Oh God, I'm looking at all these and like, yeah, I like them like that. Okay, Gengar is fine. Poison, Ghost, really, really high special attack. Fine, great, cool character. We have also got, and I'm just doing this in actual order, but Bayonette is a cool Pokemon to have. but mainly became so much more viable with the Mega and Prankster, the one that Sableye has, where you can sort of move first if it's a non-physical attacking move. Really fun. Dusclops over Dusknoir. Dusclops has, again, a really stupidly high defense, and then you shove an item on it called Eviolite. Because it's a pre-evolution, those attack defense stats go way up high, and makes them very viable for doing Curse, which we spoke about earlier on Swampert, but is on Ghosts it acts differently, as the tooltip says, where it takes off half your life but puts a curse on the opposing Pokemon, which takes a quarter of their life off every single time. And then all you need to do is heal up Dusclops, and then boom, you're happy, you're good. And basically, if Dusclops can survive resting, he will outlast every other Pokemon. Really cool. Miss Magius, I always wanted to be good, but it's just basically a shit. What's it called? Gengar, pure Ghost type. It's fine. I got a level 101 because I do. Frostlass falls into the weird, sexy Pokemon.
How is a dead Ice Maiden sexy?
it's all about perception, Parley.
Okay. I think we really need to get those psychologists on. Okay, problems.
My Poke problems. Jellicent, again, of like water types, definitely is also up there as well.
Pain in the arse.
Exactly. All of these ghost types are such pains in the arses. They're either blooming glass cannons or evil, horrible things. And speaking of evil, horrible ones to come up against, Aegislash. Yeah, because of that stance change ability, super high defense, switches whenever you do an attacking move, and yeah, you just have the other person constantly trying to predict what you're going to do.
Did you ever put any time into a Decidueye?
Decidueye? No. This is actually one of the ones I don't have time for at all. It's not a ghost type. Like, I'm not interested. Yeah.
It's weird that it's not ghost type. I don't understand. I guess
it's supposed to be like
complement the other two, but
no, it's supposed to be like a silent ninja arrow type, so it's ghostly and stealthy, I guess. But yeah, no, like that doesn't even count. We're not going to talk about this. It's already had far too much airtime. Trevenant is another one that I actually really liked. It was quite viable in X and Y, I think, because you could do so many things just to heal yourself, and like you had the ability to remake berries over and over and over again with the ability Harvest. That was good fun. Palossand we already mentioned. Delmise is a Pokemon I wish was better. I spent some time with Delmise, yeah, it didn't become what I wanted it to become.
it's also weird that it's Ghost and Grass, right? It's a
I know, that's the Ghost and Grass I like. It's the
wrecked anchor.
But it's not the anchor, it's the algae on the anchor. That's why it's Ghost and Grass.
But it doesn't make sense because the seaweed isn't dead, is it? The boat is.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, the whole idea of a ghost sunken ship, but it's the algae that somehow merged with the ghost spookiness. I don't know, I take it, I can believe in it as a thing. Believe in it. Believe in ghosts, Rochi, yeah. Fucking.
I don't believe in ghosts, I do believe in ghost types.
And just very, very quickly, this generation actually brought some good ones in. We've got Dragapult, which is a dragon and ghost type. I don't really sit very well on its design. What is it? It's a Diplodocus. What is the
Diplocaulus, and also a stealth plane.
And also stealth plane. Yeah. But yeah, the whole idea that it fires pre-evolutions from its head is a bit weird. But yeah, it's still a really solid stat machine. Cursola is an amazing addition. It's such a poignant Pokemon as well because of the whole coral bleaching. Yeah.
Climate crisis,
yeah. And of course, Poltegeist, not one that I really get behind, purely because they look too much like the crockery from Disney's what's it called? Yeah, thanks. And you know, you just don't want to think of Angela Lansbury and Chip singing.
Possessed. Well, next, it wouldn't be them singing, would it? It's them possessed by this Pokemon.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I think that's my massive list of. It's not even full either. There are other ones I could talk about, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna stop talking about ghost types.
Okay. Any thoughts about the new ghost type?
The new ghost? I haven't got there, but I know it's a horse.
All right. Still rounding off this episode, I think. Steel types, right? Oh, it's me again, isn't it? Now this time. Oh gosh, what do I like steel type wise? I'm gonna actually just cheese this one, and I'm gonna go for Klefki. Klefki is a steel and fairy type, and Klefki, again, it's just one of these very unassuming Pokemon, but with the right moveset can be a pain in the arse to deal with. There's a theme to the Pokemon I like, but yeah. So yeah, Klefki is my favourite. It was such an obscure Pokemon to introduce. It's like everybody was raging the previous generation to it, like Vanillux was brought in, you know, the ice cream cone Pokemon, and like yeah, it's pretty shit. But Klefki is a keyring. You know? Face. And I remember people being so angry when
yeah.
When I think it got revealed before the game came out, and like a teaser trailer, the designs are all over the place. It's just a keyring in the face. But it actually turned out to be a really cool Pokemon. Really.
Yeah, I love it. Fantastic. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of steel types that you want to be better than they are. I mean, I know I already mentioned Scizor in there as well. But yeah.
Yeah, I think you summed it up well. That's the mouth taste of steel types. Is you should be better. You know, they're all big and heavy and chunky, but they don't really, you know, kind of have a lot poured in defense, but not very much else. And unlike, say, rock types, I mean, it's not strictly true. You've got things like Aegislash in there. But yeah, a lot of big fatties, and then the rest are all dual weakness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So either double weak to fire, double weak to ground, double weak to fighting.
Yeah.
Shame steel type.
Yeah. What about yourself?
My favourite, there's not a huge number to choose from. Not already discussed. So you've got a couple of rock and steel types, which I'm not really that interested in. So my choice is going to be Genesect. Actually.
Yeah. Oh, bringing in the legendaries, Cheaty Boy Cheaterson.
Is it a legendary? I think it's a mythical, isn't it?
Well, by the new standards, yes. But we fucking, when it came out, it was a fucking legendary, right?
Come on, mythical. Yeah, no, I really like Genesec's design and the movies. Not too bothered with the Technoblast stupid hold item thing. So inspired, actually, when I was thinking about what I'd be picking for each type for this podcast, I got my Genesect out on Pokemon Sword and Shield because I didn't realise that it was transferable already.
Yeah.
And when it follows you around, it does turn into the kind of flying shipping machine.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's really nice nod. Yeah, that's only in the anime as well, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they've got all these crazy little details in some of the follow animations, and that was one that was like, oh right, okay, it turns into the. It makes me. What's the name of the transformer that turns into the blue car in the movie? The flying car. Is it Blur?
Blur. Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of Blur when it's all transformed and flying around.
Yeah.
So yeah, Genesect.
Yeah, cool.
Steel.
So, let's move on to our final honourable mentions of the night.
Yes.
And or the morning. I forgot. We fucking changed the canon. It's 7 a.m. and you're drinking Stella.
7 a.m. and I'm hard drinking.
Drinking heroin. Right. Honourable mentions. From my side, Metagross is always a good steel type to have on your team. And even more scary and horrible to have because he's got Mega. I was also a huge fan of Moyle because it has some good viability as a front Pokemon, and also it got a Mega, which made it even more viable. And again, I know I said it last week, we will see Megas at some point and in this generation, and we can just sort of be happy that it exists again. A non-honourable mention to dishonourable mention to Lucario. Just can't get behind the yeah, fuck off. Glad we agree on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine how much filth wouldn't exist on the internet if Lucario wasn't.
Yeah, or just not even on the internet. People dressing up as Lucarios and
accidentally
falling over.
Poke their eye out with a hand spike.
Whilst they were getting
the worst film and the worst character in Smash.
Yep. Yeah.
And the worst amiibo.
This is far too much airtime even for this person. But yeah,
with no platforming Lucario from now on.
Yeah. On a happier note, a newfound love for this generation, and you remember this one.
I was there for it.
Yeah, Ferrothorn. Weird grass and steel seed type.
Now, what is it based on, actually?
That's a very good point. I was about to ask that. You look that up whilst I talk about it. I mean, yeah, again, it's really, really cool. You can have so many things on it, so that basically you get attacked and the enemy gets more damage done to it than you do to you, because you've got massive defenses and you've got all of these thorns damage, iron barbs damage, rocky helmet damage. Everything is just an evil bastard to sort of bring in, and somebody hits and like, oh great, look at me, I've got half health from hitting you, and that was a lot of fun. But yeah,
stalling for time, I can reveal the supposed origin is either after durian fruit,
okay,
spiky
stinky fruit,
or military flails.
Oh yeah, because it's got the I see what you mean. Yeah,
3 arms. Yeah, so a bit of both. I think that's where the grass and the steel's coming in.
And yeah, I think that's the main ones that I really like. They're like, I still find it weird that Magnemite is dual type steel and electric, even though for all these years it has been dual type steel and electric. Do you still get that, Farley? I mean, I had it with Jigglypuff earlier on,
I still think that steel and dark are the new types, and then it blows my mind that fairy is a newer new type.
Yeah.
After steel and dark.
But like, steel and dark came in Gen 2. And it still feels new.
2 years. There was only 2 years of Pokemon where there wasn't still dark.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still get a bit excited. It's like, oh, what is still weak to?
Yeah. Fuck knows what dark is.
Exactly. And still I remember because it's firefighting in ground, and I just remember it was firefighting in ground. I don't know.
Okay. And new ones that were brought in, they were a bit shit, to be honest. Looking at them now, it's just like we've got, yeah,
Big metal things. It's weird.
no, you've got Corviknight, which is I suppose a big metal bird.
Yeah.
Weirdly, the Galarian Meowth is steel because he looks like a Viking. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot what to say.
Yeah. Copperaja. Is that? It's just again, it's a big, slow, bulky steel thing.
But what I don't like about Copperaja is if you look at the Gigantamax form,
Yeah.
right? So the normal form is like an elephant, and in the Gigantamax form, it turns into a weird like,
Slide.
thwomp.
Sort
It's
of
like
thing.
a thwomp. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
With a big nose.
This looks silly
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah. No. But yeah, like Copperaja, it's just that one of these ones that you see in the field and you're like, I don't care. Duraludon, which is a very nice one to say. But yeah, it's Dynamax form.
Duraludon.
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 Duraludon. Yeah, it turns into a skyscraper.
Yeah.
Again, a bit weird. Do people live in Duraludons?
Yeah, I know, but then it can only Dynamax in certain places in Galar. So, if you lived in one, do you shrink down when it shrinks? Or...
Yeah. I mean, let's not go. Let's not pull these threads because you start pulling that thread.
Sailing into a cruise ship.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or was it? Who's it that turns into the island? Snorlax.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah.
Strange game.
So we're agreed. Dynamax is shit. Long live
Dynamax
Megas.
is great.
Megas.
Gigantamax. My honourable mentions. I don't think there are any really. Yeah.
Did you have a shiny Aggron that you quite liked?
I had one because it was a rock type, but I really don't like it. Even with the Mega Evolution, it's just not very good.
Yeah.
Melmetal has strangely grown on me.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, originally I hated it. I hated the idea that there was this one Pokemon yet to play Pokemon Go.
Is it because it now feels like it's part of the continuity and not some stupid thing that Go brought in?
Yeah, because now it's not the new. It's
Yeah.
the second new, and now that you can actually have it in a mainline game, and it's kind of cool movesets. And I don't know if you've got your Gigantamax one yet.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Oh no, wait a minute. You got it for using home, didn't you?
Yeah, home.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Gigantamax, it's really cool. It's like almost like a War of the Worlds type
Yeah.
design.
A Slenderman Pokemon.
yeah. But with kind of nuts and bolts. You can see the nuts and bolts kind of hanging around, hanging in it. Like it's almost like globs of soldered metal with 3 nuts in each hand. Crazy, weird design. Yeah, that's growing on me. Actually.
Cool.
Nice typing as well.
So let's bring this one to a close then, I think.
Okay, that's part 1. We might do part 2 next week. We might do it at another time. But hopefully, I'm sure we'll, because we've not both mentioned 300 Pokemon tonight, we'll both remember favourites from each type.
Yeah, exactly.
Should the fake marriage please turn up? I've been Kanzi One.
And I've been Richie. That guy's a maniac.
Why do you bite me?